Hi, I'm Teddy Burris, your LinkedIn strategist, trainer, and coach. I got asked this question earlier today, and I thought it'd be a great topic to have in a video. I've actually also built a list of speaking points that I'll share as well. But the question I got asked this is, Teddy, what's the best way to build relationships with decision makers? Now that's a deep question. It's an important question because at the end of the day, the success of your business or the success of your career often is tied to the ability for you to make connections and build relationships with people who can make decisions. Those decisions might be to hire you. Those decisions might be to contract you. Those decisions might be to buy your widget or your product or your services. So making connections and developing relationships with decision makers could go a long way, again, for your business or your career. Now, you got to remember that people prefer to do business with those who they know, trust, and like. So if people prefer to do business with people that they know, trust, and like, we've got to come up with tactics to help people to A, know us, B, get to trust us, and C, start to like us. So it's a journey. It's not a race. It takes time to do that, which is one reason why you don't work on one decision maker at a time. You put together campaigns of activities so that you can be working on multiple decision makers through multiple companies, et cetera, et cetera. So you just keep moving this forward, and along the way, while you're working on making connections and developing relationships and building trust, respect, and like with others, you can wrap back to those you've already done that work with and move them forward in the process so that you can move them forward into conversations that may lead to conversations about business. So here's a few ideas that I put together that you can use as you're building relationships with decision makers so that you can get and start achieving the goals you're trying to achieve. So number one, research the decision maker and learn as much about them as you can. Learn as much about their role, learn as much about their company, learn as much about them in their industry as you can so you understand them while you're working on that conversations and that engagement to build that relationship. Here's another activity. Ask a mutual connection to introduce you to these decision makers one at a time. And ask them to make those introductions via email or better yet, in person if we can start doing that. Because it's an introduction from a mutual connection that helps move those opportunities for the relationship to another level. Here's the third one. Engage on their content in social media or engage on their company's content on social media. And when you can, make the comment, or not when you can, but always make the comment relevant to them and to the content and to their company. And if you need to, mention or tag them in the comment to pull them into the conversation where relevant and appropriate. Number four. So after you get introduced to these decision makers, then engage with them directly and continue to make the conversation all about them and their business. And you'll discover if you do this appropriately and sincerely, those that really want to have a conversation with you will ask you to tell them more about you. Number five, never ask a decision maker for the sale or the job until you know you can. Now, you'll know when you can because you'll see the relationship growing. You'll see the relationship developing, and you'll see that they're starting to trust and respect you more because they're engaging with you more. So be very purposeful. Never ask for a sale or a job until you know you can. Number six, invite the decision maker to connect on LinkedIn. If you haven't already done this, you should invite them to connect, use a personal note, make sure the note is focused on them and their business and or their role in the business, and see if they're willing to connect with you on LinkedIn. Number seven, Again, when relevant and appropriate, invite the decision maker to a conversation. Make sure, again, that conversation starts with all about them and their role in the company. And then, again, if they are interested in who you are and what you're doing, they'll invite you to talk more about yourself. Number 8. So as you're getting introduced and getting connected and starting to engage with them where you can, however you can, start sharing information with them that's relevant to them, relevant to their role, relevant to their company. Again, highly relevant information is important. It's not about you and your widget and your case studies and your white papers and your products and offerings, but share other content that's relevant to them. And so that you can show them that you care enough to give to them first. Here's my last tip. If they don't seem like they're really interested in engaging with you, don't press the issue. Don't call them and email them and text message them and LinkedIn message them. Don't bombard them with requests to have a conversation. Because the more you push, the more they may be willing to be pushed away. But instead, put them on a campaign of once every month or quarter to say hello. And if you're already connected with them on LinkedIn, if they're on LinkedIn, they're going to see more about you. If you're following them on social media and you engage on the social media company pages, very friendly and politely, in time, they will discover that you're not a threat. If they're not interested in you today, they may be interested in you tomorrow. So don't press too hard until you know that they're interested. And then you can ask them for deeper conversations. Look, this is important. Developing relationships with decision makers is important. Do this right. Treat it as a journey, not a race, and it's more likely to work for you. I'm Teddy, your LinkedIn strategist, trainer, and coach, and I hope this idea is helpful for you.